Storyboard. I'm Shubhani Gharat. First up, something that is useful to everyone from the advertising and marketing business. Advertising Standards Council of India, which is ASCI, has created the ASCI Academy in order to help the advertising industry create more responsible and progressive advertising campaigns. This is different from ASCI's usual role of addressing ad-related concerns after they have been published. The ASCI Academy focuses on helping advertisers self-regulate from the beginning stages of advertisement creation. The ASCI Academy has already received support from over 50 founding partners and supporters, including companies like Cipla Health, Coca-Cola India, Colgate-Palmolive, Diageo, Hindustan Unilever, Mondelez, Nestle, PepsiCo, Procter & Gamble, and many prominent educational institutions, civil society organizations, industry bodies and research organizations. And many of them had assembled together at the mega launch of the ASCI Academy in Mumbai recently.
The idea was, how do we make sure that we actually are able to protect consumers, and while corrective action is very important, it is becoming more and more symbolic rather than having a real impact on the individual consumers who are affected by that advertising. And I think that really told us that we needed to step back and think about how we imagine consumer protection in this digital age. And I think the only thing that would really help is prevention. So we actually started with a few small experiments. We started going to corporates and training them. We went to a few colleges. We in fact conducted a faculty development course. And I think the response that we got was so fabulous. People really felt this is a gap. This is not something that anyone is talking about. It's not being taught in colleges. It's something which marketeers don't understand very well, even in big corporates. So I think that really kind of encouraged us to think that there is a need for something like this, and it needs to be done at scale.
The Secretary of Department of Consumer Affairs, Rohit Kumar Singh, praised ASCI's initiative, saying that preventive measures are especially important in the digital age. We also caught up with him on the sidelines of the event and spoke to him about how they are working with ASCI to create robust self-regulatory mechanism, increased focus and scrutiny on influencers, and why are they looking at the phenomena of greenwashing by brands more closely. A lot of work has been done by Department of Consumer Affairs along with ASCI as well in the space, in the online space, so to speak, over the past couple of months. If you can share with us, what are the plans ahead?
So, this thing is very dynamic. As the technology changes, the paradigm of the consumer and seller, the whole equation changes. So last month we did a stakeholder consultation, a very detailed one on consumer in the metaverse. What happens when the sellers increasingly start engaging the consumer in the metaverse? So even internet, there is an identity layer, but in metaverse it gets more diffuse.
Yeah.
So how do you pinpoint who's making that mistake? How are you protecting the intellectual property rights and many other aspects? Those were discussed. And then this whole generative AI thing. So how will artificial intelligence affect advertising in particular and consumers in general?
Yeah, and also increased scrutiny on influencers over the past couple of months. We have seen the definition of celebrity as per ASCI guidelines has changed to include more. Also increased scrutiny on finfluencers. Along with that, health influencers have to declare their qualifications. So tell us more and your take on this and its impact on the consumer.
So we're feeling conscious of the advertising through social media. In fact, we have to be more cautious because on social media, when somebody says this product is good, you don't know whether he's taken money to say that, whether it's an advertisement or an honest opinion. So that is why we are focusing on disclosures. Those guidelines were out, I think, in June. And then last month, the guidelines on health influencers, because somebody is saying this protein is good, this will help you. We're just saying that, are you a doctor? Are you a nutritionist? So say that. So because consumer needs to know whether the thing that is being peddled is that an honest opinion or a paid opinion. I mean, we are just restricting ourselves to those, and then the consumer has to take a call.
I'm going to take you to one interesting comment on greenwashing that you made on the stage. Tell us more, because, in this era where every single company and brand is, talking about, circular, circular fashion or, environment consciousness, if you can tell us its impact on the consumers.
Yeah. So, consumers have to be very careful. If a company is claiming a product to be green, then I'm saying don't just believe it. Do your own due diligence and see whether it's actually green. Because a conscious consumer, and after Honorable Prime Minister's call for Mission Life, many people are moving in that direction and adopting sustainable lifestyles. People are willing to pay 2x, 3x for something which is sustainable and green. But this thing should not be taken undue advantage of by unscrupulous people. So consumers have to be aware, and when we start penalizing people for greenwashing, then so both on the preventive side and on the corrective side, we are working on guidelines on greenwashing.
Oh, you are. If you can share more details on that.
Not now, but when it's fully developed, we'll share it with you.
How soon will that be? Is it in the pipeline in the coming months?
I cannot comment on that, because it takes a lot of hard work. We don't want to come up with something which is half-baked and, not just for the sake of doing it. It should be, meaningful, and it should help the consumer. So it takes time.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have MasterCard's Raja Raj Manard speaking about their association with the International Cricket Council, other sporting associations and more.